I'm a free man living in Chilcotin. Solitude life on a devoted. Furthermost, all the way out at Wilderness Outpost.
Welcome, wanderers, dreamers, and seekers of the untamed. This is Furthermost Outpost, a wilderness resort nestled against the rugged mountains of British Columbia. Jennifer and Aron had it all, or so the world told them. A comfortable life, careers, and a home with the familiar rhythm of everyday life. But it just wasn't enough. They craved something raw, something real. So they did the unthinkable. They sold everything, packed their essentials, and disappeared into the wilderness, chasing the solitude most only dare to dream of. Join us as we revisit their world a decade later. A world of survival, self-discovery, and a kind of love that thrives not in the glow of city lights, but beneath the canopy of 1,000 stars. The wilderness tested, shaped, and marked them, and they thrived so completely that their story was featured on Season 12 of History Channel's Mountain Men. A testament to their fortitude and self-reliance, they built off the grid. This is their story, and if you've ever felt the call of the wild, maybe it's a little bit yours too. Subscribe now and step off the map into Furthermost Outpost.
Ooh, I'm a mountain man at heart. I'm a gobbler with any part. I can build, I can fix any problem.
Welcome to our podcast. We're sharing our story of why we walked away from modern life and chose the wilderness.
That's a great topic. That's a good start. Our first season of podcasting. I'm sure people are wondering why we left civilization. Like, why did you do this? Who would do that? You guys are crazy.
We are crazy.
I know, but it's a good crazy. We're always a good crazy. And I think you have to be a little bit crazy to do what we do. As we dive into this idea that we had 15 years ago.
We grew into a rut.
As we were working in our careers,
Yeah.
what was the feeling that you had where you didn't think this is what you wanted in life?
Well, it was the mundane daily activities and the things we did just weren't. It was so long ago now that I can hardly remember. The feelings that we had that we wanted to move it wasn't just wanting to move, it was just to get away from the city life. What had become of the place we moved to.
The city we lived in grew so fast. The traffic, the population, things like that, right? So it lost its feel of a welcoming place. I loved my careers. I loved everything that I did. I loved my home. For me, that was the hardest thing to leave, was my home, because I thought I would be there forever. I agreed with you in the fact that it had run its course, I want to say. And the feeling of there's got to be more to life than this. Before we had left the city, we tried to find different groups of friends that wanted to be out there, to go camping, quadding, instead of wine touring and having dinners and all of that stuff where you get stuck in the materialization.
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to?
It was that. The business we had, my automotive repair business, I loved doing projects, working on vehicles.
Well, you built a big, beautiful shop with heated floors. You had a mechanic dream shop.
I did. It's probably the only thing I miss. It just got to me. Working on people's vehicles takes a toll on you.
Yes.
So it was definitely time to change.
We were kind of having opposite careers then, because mine was just starting to flourish. And so it was harder for me to get on board with the let's sell it all and move away scenario. You needed a drastic change. You had like an epiphany life moment where you said, that's it, I'm done. Jen, you need to figure out what we do next. And you kind of left the onus on me to change our lifestyles. So when did we figure out that this is what we wanted to do?
We had looked at a few places. We were traveling, and
we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, where we wanted to go, and we took
Yes.
our time.
we definitely took our time.
We didn't jump into it.
No, it was a few years in the making. I got my pilot's license. You got your
Medic. I worked on the rigs as a medic for a while, just to get that. If we were going to go somewhere far away, we wanted to know how to handle the medic end of it. We need to be able to do everything ourselves. So we need to get educated enough to do that.
Yes. And we wanted to be fully prepared.
Yes, even though we were raised in the bush, you and I, we each were raised in northern Ontario. We had those woods smart sense, the long winters, we
Yes.
grew up like that. So for us, it was kind of like coming full circle, right?
Yes.
Even though we had lived in Kelowna for 20 years, very warm climate, mild winters, we didn't like the heat anymore. We couldn't stand the 45 degrees in the summer. Well, our whole property in Kelowna was my dream home, and I never thought I would ever leave it.
We're looking in the Chilcotin area. We looked at a few places. Chilcotin just kept calling us back.
Yeah, it just had a draw of having everything that was on our boxes checked, right? We wanted
Yeah.
to be on a lake. We wanted a mountain view. We wanted 4 seasons. You need your water source, your wood source, and wildlife in case you need to live off the land. You want all of those checked off before you jump into any off-grid situation. Before we dove into this, it took us years. Our prepping and our planning. We actually turned into, I want to say, preppers, because in a way you had to, we went to yard sales, collected axes, we did everything we could with the money we had at the time. And one of the big things was we still needed to work to be able to buy all this and transition our lifestyle, because you had to plan to be mortgage free, to not have bills, to make sure that everything was paid for, because once you move off the grid, unless you have some kind of remote job online and have the Wi-Fi and the solar set up, then you're not making any money. It took us 5 years to prep for this lifestyle. I want to say 5 years.
It was a difficult task to find exactly what we were looking for.
We did it over years, collected things over years of what we would probably need to move off the grid, and then we started selling off some of our things that we knew we couldn't take with us. The preparation for moving off the grid this far away, we took every course we could, every bushcraft knowledge thing we brushed up on, we learned, we bought the books.
Yes.
I was a herbalist all along, so that was kind of easy for me. I just needed to know wherever we were going what the flora fauna was in my area. But you transitioned, I think, the biggest out of the both of us, because you went from using mechanical tools to using carpentry tools. And you renovated our house. Every house we've had, you've always improved on it, and you've always done, electrical, plumbing, everything. You're good at all of that. And another point being is, if you're going to move off the grid that far away, one of you has got to know how to do all of that. You kind of have to be a jack of all trades. And as a woman, you have to know how to do all of it as well. You have to do from scratch cooking. You have to do canning, your own baking, everything. Even foraging. You got to know everything in your area. Get educated about all of that. Because once you move out to the middle of nowhere, there's no grocery store. There's no freezer. You have to plan all of that out, and that's what we did. We had planned on eventually getting solar panels and all of the things to go with it, but we had to have ways to keep our food cool even before we got here.
We bought a fishing resort thinking this was a turnkey business.
It was on one of our last lists of places to go and look. Autumn of 2015, we came in on floatplane, and the place was
overgrown. to say the slightest.
It was like an abandoned old camp that the forest had taken back. You were so excited. You had finally found a place where it was so far off the map no one could find it, and I think you just saw it as it was a dream vision.
It was definitely a diamond in the rough, and I emphasize rough.
It had the big mountain view. It was right on the lake.
I saw the potential. It was meant to be.
Yes. We got the place. Our house sold that summer. We had a month to get out. I remember the condition on that. We sold in August. We had to be out in September, and we were like, what? Our house was so big in Kelowna, and it was still full.
Yes.
And we scrambled to, I think we ended up giving most of our stuff away that didn't fit in the sea can, which probably was a huge mistake. We could have had a lot more of a...
We should have stored a lot of our stuff there,
we should have sold it and actually got money for it. But we were just so excited that this was all happening.
Yes.
But we were prepared. It took us 5 years to do this, and we had checked everything off, every list.
Yes.
Yes.
We were absolutely mentally prepared.
What did you hope to find when you changed your lifestyle to off the grid from the city life?
Myself.
Yourself?
Myself. Moving out here, I was lost in the city. And I was looking for myself again.
Well, I think you becoming my mountain man was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to you.
Well, the one thing was when we left, put my cell phone down, and I did not miss it for a moment since. I haven't missed it at all.
Disconnecting like that is probably the best feeling. And I know here we are connected again, but it's in a whole different way. We're in control. And that's the main difference. How did friends and family react when we left?
Oh boy. They all thought we were crazy.
Our friends thought we were absolutely insane. They actually were taking bets on how long we would last in the wilderness. Whether or not we would kill each other off the grid, how long we would last, a month, or maybe we would be divorced in 2 months, or we would pack it all in and be coming back to the city. That was on their minds. Like, I mean, that was something that they literally did.
I wish we were able to get in on it. Because
we would have won, right?
They'd be paying us out.
Yeah, maybe. Before leaving society, did you have any fears?
I didn't. I knew what I wanted to do. And coming out here, there was no fear. It was just excitement.
Yes, we were like a foot off the ground all the time. But I did have concerns, let's say. I'm going to miss going to the doctor for any little thing, or the hospital's right there should something happen. If I need a prescription for something, it's right there. And also flush toilets. That was probably my worst thing, coming out to a place that only had outhouses and no plumbing. The running water and flush toilets.
Well, we still don't have running water in the winter.
After 10 years.
After 10 years. It's not for the lack of trying.
Well, we're on bedrock, so that's a whole other episode. That's a whole other episode. But now, what did you hope to find or escape from when you left the city? What were you escaping from?
Civilization. I don't think it was really what I was escaping from. It's what I was escaping to. A better life, calmer life, healthier living.
Yeah.
I still believe that if we stayed, you'd be a widow. Yeah.
Well, then it was a good sacrifice to make, wasn't it?
When I was a teenager, I couldn't wait to get out of the bush.
I know.
And moving out of the bush and seeing the world helped me get back to it.
You're right there. I think that it's important that people make sure that if they're going to do this kind of thing, that they experience all of that, have that career, live in the city, experience all of that. Because when you're, if you lived in the bush your whole life, you'd wonder what it was like out there. But we know what it's like out there. We've experienced everything that we've wanted to. We checked all those boxes of our adventures in civilization.
Don't be afraid to live the life you want to. We moved to the city thinking that's the life we wanted. But it turned out it was great for 20 years.
Yes.
But then it was time for a change. You need to be happy with yourself to be able to do this. You must like yourself and your partner, of course.
Yes.
Because if you don't like yourself,
it's hard to live with yourself.
You won't make it.
Yeah, and you'll be a miserable person to be around.
That's right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things you have to consider before moving off the grid.
Yes. My goal has been to be a better person every day.
Your stress level of what you were like in the city, you were short, you got angry fast, you were judgmental, all of those bad traits of a city person that is stressed out. That all washed away pretty much immediately, and you were like night and day once you lived out here where things were calm. The stress of the city life and that kind of lifestyle just kind of vanished.
The life I was looking for.
Yes. The preparation's huge, prepping for the lifestyle, but like you said, you have to have the mindset. You have to be determined. Step out of your comfort zone, get out of that box, and envision that dream, because people dream and they keep saying to us, like, you're living my dream. How often have you heard that, Aron?
Oh, so many people say that. You're living my dream. Well, no, we're living our own dreams. Go live your dream. You need to live your dream. And that's what we're encouraging people to do.
To reach your goals, you actually have to set them first.
Yes. And to do that, you need to be self-motivated.
Yes. There's another key. You have to have the grit, determination, the self-motivation, and all of those very key traits in your personality to be able to do this. So how did we prepare ourselves for the isolation of moving out of such a busy, fast-paced city to all of a sudden quiet? Sometimes out here in the wilderness, there's not even a loon calling. There's nothing.
I've got you. I took you with me. The isolation and the silence is almost deafening sometimes, but it's so calming and soothing. Creates wholeness in oneself.
For me, it was the hum of that city life. All you can hear is a steady hum, and that took weeks to go away. Do you remember when you started having clarity after weeks of living out here? Your eyesight improved, your hearing improved, everything improves. Your smell, our sense of smell, because all of those orders in the city, all of those fake perfumes, every store you walk into, even a tire store, the rubber smell, everything.
It's funny because when I'm in town, I can't walk by a woman's boutique because the smell is just pungent.
Or anyone that's wearing perfume.
Yeah.
They think that we used to be those people.
We Actually,
we would lather ourselves in cologne and perfume. It's headache material. Anything like that that's that artificial fragrance. Now that you've lived in the bush and all of those senses have heightened, and we've kind of detoxified our bodies from all of that.
And here's an example. Now, if there's a moose in the area or a bear, I can smell them before they get close. I can hear a squirrel fart at 100 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear a lot better now. But yeah, it does kill your senses,
Yes,
literally. Don't you think?
absolutely. Because being crazy,
A little bit crazy.
or
Let's not go the whole way.
or a little bit
Let's not go full crazy.
you need to be a little bit crazy.
Yes.
And being a little bit crazy helps you with not having fear.
To change your lifestyle in the first place.
Exactly.
We wanted to have no regrets. That's one big thing in our life. No regrets. Before we even dove into this, we made sure that we checked off everything that we ever wanted to do in life.
And I went through a bucket list twice.
Twice.
The one last thing on a bucket list that I haven't done was base jump off of Angel Falls.
Well, I think just being a mountain man and having to jump off a lot of the mountains around here that you've done already.
Being a prepper, it's collecting all the physical elements and things we need to make this kind of move.
I remember switching out things like I threw my blender away and I bought a hand blender because I didn't know how long it would be till we had electricity. And I didn't want to be without knowing how to bake certain things or whip something frothy. All those things I collected, the kitchen things. And we went to a lot of yard sales to do that because nobody has them for sale anymore.
Well, I think that determines on what your goal is living off grid or remote. Are you going to have running water?
Oh, so
toilets?
yeah, because you can live remotely and actually have electricity, right?
Are you going to have electricity? That's huge. Is it going to be generators, solar, windmill, all of the above?
Yeah.
And just because you have those things doesn't mean you have to live like a caveman, you know?
Yeah, and I think
them.
a lot of people get that misconception of because there's not a proper off-grid definition. If you look them all up, they're all different. People think that off-grid just means you're not connected to the grid, electricity, right?
Yes.
But they think if you make your own electricity that you're on a grid, no matter where you are in the world.
Well, no.
And especially because we have Starlink, people think we're connected to something.
There's not a spot on Earth that you cannot get Wi-Fi to.
These days.
Now.
Yes. And for everyone thinking that doesn't mean we live off the grid, I guess you just have a whole different misconception about the theory. But just because we're off grid doesn't mean we have to live like a caveman, and that's what you had just said. There's a whole different perspective there on even what people think a mountain man is to what a mountain man is now. You don't have to walk around in a loincloth clubbing things over the head and whittling a spoon out of their bones. You know, that's...
No, you don't. Living the lifestyle of being remote is, I'd say, a mountain man's life.
Self-reliance.
Living the life that you want to live, not ones that's dictated to you.
Yes. So being self-reliant and getting your own food, growing your own food.
And that's originally what a mountain man's life was. He left and went into the wilderness to be alone, to live the life remotely. And the way to do that was to trap. So that's why trapping is involved with being a mountain man.
That was the only way they could get money to get supplies.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, you know.
And in those times, now, there are different ways where you can be extremely remote and make an income. Mind you, it's very difficult, as was then. We have a fishing resort. You can fly in people for fishing and the remote experience.
Yes. And that's been huge. The huge draw for us has been changing our business strategy and rebranding.
Yes.
As not just a fishing resort, because
that's only a small part of it.
Face it, there's not enough fishermen on the planet to want to go to an extremely remote place just to fish. But the people that want the whole experience of being off the grid, and learning how we do things and experiencing that solitude, and just the surroundings of our really beautiful geological area of the Anaheim Volcanic Belt Zone. We literally overlook an extinct volcano.
That is our view.
And the geology here is incredible, and it attracts so many people. Come here to hike, explore, look for minerals.
We've had people come out that don't even get in a boat.
Yeah.
To go fishing.
They come for the solitude. They come to sit in a cabin and experience the isolation and build a fire and listen to the loons. There's so many different varieties of people we get now, the different mindsets of people. We adjust to all of them to cater to their experiences.
Yes, because we want people to have the experience they're dreaming of.
Yeah.
So we do everything possible to accommodate that, to make people happy, because when people are out here, they just shed all that city life, and
they shed the burden of society. They experience for the first time the sensation of feeling like they're the last person left on Earth. If we didn't have Wi-Fi, we wouldn't even know how civilization was doing. If we were the last people on Earth, we wouldn't know it. Do you not remember when we moved out here and then all of those other things happened within the last 10 years? And I think everyone knows what we're talking about. But our friends said, how did you guys know? How did you know that the world was almost coming to an end as we all knew it? Which it has. Things have literally...
Since we left,
the world has changed.
Totally changed.
And we got out just on time and built a life for ourselves out here where we actually didn't have to worry so much about this whole lifestyle. Has opened my eyes to the fall of things in civilization and in urban living and urban life like never before.
Yes.
How do you feel about being here now that these things in where we came from? How do you feel about that change? And if we still were living in the city at this point?
It was a calling for us to move out here. We were led out here.
Yeah, we could feel it. That might be hard for people to understand.
It may be very difficult for people to understand, but when you have that voice in your head saying it's time to do something different.
So now you know why we walked away from society.
Have you ever dreamed of leaving it all behind? Tell us what's holding you back.
God, your voice is sexy. Okay, we gotta figure out an ending.
Yeah, that's your job. Thank you for tuning into our episode. Please, oh my goodness.
I know, right? We need to end with something.
Stay well.
Stay well. Sorry, that's funny.
Be well. I don't know.
Be well.
Okay, time to get back to work.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next podcast.
Thanks. See you soon.
Ooh, I'm a mountain man at heart, a MacGyver with any part. I can build, I can fix any problem in the sticks. Got a wife just as smart, we can never be apart. She cooks, she cleans, she's loving, she gets dirty in the garden. Together we soar like the birds along the shore, and the best part is she gets me.